We're recording this 45 minutes before the Capcom grand reveal that they have prepared. So I'm going to call my shot and announce it myself, even though as we're recording, I am announcing it beforehand. But as when this episode comes out, the announcement will still already be announced, but nobody asked you. Why are you being like this? So, my prediction for Capcom is
Capcom versus Arby's.
Dude, what if... So they're sponsored by Arby's now. CEO events were always in front of Popeyes. Fast food fighter.
Fast food. Oh, it's like a new entry in the Marvel vs. Capcom engine. It's fast food fighters. Oh, dude. I would be a Ronald McDonald main. Remember him in Mugen, where he was just he would drop the Big Mac on you like Dio.
Dude, it's way too good. Mugen is a fucking gift.
Capcom is announcing officially sanctioned Mugen.
If only. I believe that Capcom will introduce cereal mascot fighter.
Capcom versus Kellogg's. It's finally happening.
Like, we've got Captain Crunch, Count Chocula, Lucky, the Trix Rabbit. These might be different brands, but you know what?
I'm looking up Kellogg's like cereal brands, but I also remember that they had that strike a couple months ago. I think it was Kellogg's, wasn't it?
It was, and I think it's been resolved, question mark. But Lord knows how resolved it is.
My anchor character in Capcom versus Kellogg's is gonna be Scab.
Dude, you've got it all wrong. Are you kidding me? Tony the fucking Tiger?
I'm imagining Tony the Tiger, like, he's either going to play two ways. He's either going to be, like, Rob Lucci, where he's just, like, fast as fuck and, like, teleporting around the screen and doing the finger guns.
He's a grappler, but not, like, a true grappler. He's
like he's some, like, I'm thinking, like, Urian shoulder tackles, but then, like, grappler.
No. I'm thinking Soul Bad Guy.
Yeah. Oh, who could forget the strongest grappler, Soul Bad Guy?
Exactly.
God, when people if anybody talks about fighting games, viewers, and they ever tell you, like, oh, I wish there was a fighting game where the grappler was the main character, you direct their attention to Guilty Gear, and you tell them, the Soul Bad Guy, he is a grappler with the fireball.
And they'll tell you, you're wrong, and then spit in their face in response.
Yeah. The rooster from the Cornflakes.
Yes.
I think he's going to be the sleeper. I think he's going to have some tech that's so broken, but everyone's just like, oh, you're just like a weird, like, amalgam of shapes that make up the shape of a rooster. You're not a real mascot.
Answer me this. Are Snap, Crackle, and Pop a single character or three separate characters?
Oh, okay. They can be three separate characters.
No, I disagree. Finish what you're saying.
But the Apple and Cinnamon, they have to be together. They are one character.
I feel like it should be the other way around. I'm not too married to the idea of Cinnamon and Bad Apple being separate, but I feel that Snap, Crackle, and Pop must be the same character. Because picture Eddie, but times 3. If you were playing Zato and you had to negative edge
Jesus Christ.
all of your inputs,
you're playing like Crackle on Point and then Snap and Pop are like Eddies.
He's like,
God, that's like cursed to think about, like Zato with like a puppet character with two puppets.
I mean,
That's no good.
that's crazy, yeah.
And by no good, I mean too good.
That would be absolutely foul. See, that's like S tier high execution. Like I couldn't play that, you know? But it's like, Zero's lightning loops were technical execution, but like, they weren't that heavy.
Yeah, they weren't as bad as like Zato stuff. Zato stuff is like, if you learn it, it's a lot of muscle memory, but the game itself does nothing to teach you how to actually do his things.
No,
because it'll just tell you like, oh yeah, like just summon Eddie. It's easy. And then I play and I'm like, what on God's green earth?
Oh man. Okay, I think I've decided. Actually, hold on.
Who's the team? Who's the team?
So on Point, I never knew his name. Newton the Owl from Cocoa Puffs.
What? He has a name?
Wait, hold on. Shut the fuck up. That's not... What's Cocoa Hoots? Hold on.
That's some weird stuff.
Wait.
I know my team already.
Oh no, Cocoa Puffs isn't Kellogg. What is it?
Oh, Cocoa Puffs
it's
is
General
like Post,
Mills.
or General Mills.
Oh my god. Never mind. Give me your team. I need to go back to the drawing board.
So this is Capcom's versus Kellogg's. I'm picking Cinnamon. I'm picking Diggums the Frog from Honey Smacks, and then Anchor Virgil.
Oh man.
I just literally imagining like the Super Flash. Just tell me how cursed this idea is. Like Super Flash on the screen, and all you hear throughout the tournament venue is everybody in the audience screaming, "Here I come, I am Cinnamon," as he does his super.
Dude, that would be
like
so hype.
Like, for anybody who doesn't follow fighting games at all, the Dragon Ball Z fighting game, Dragon Ball Fighters, when it came to EVO, the biggest tournament of the year, the intros of the characters were like straight out of scenes from the anime, like for Dragon Ball. And Perfect Cell at the time of the first tournament that it came to EVO was like really, he was like top tier. Like he was on like almost every team. Like you basically just kind of had to the way that meta was in season like 1 and 2, you basically had to play him. You could get away with not, but you'd have to be like godlike with whatever other character. But his intro is he like walks up into the Cell Games arena and he like holds his hands in front of him. He's silent. And then he just immediately starts screaming and he powers up into like his Perfect Cell form. And there's videos online, if you search up like Evo Perfect Cell Scream, the entire venue, as soon as Cell is on screen, just screaming.
It's so cool too. Like, just with about everything, like Kamehamehas, like, honestly, the fact that it hadn't been done earlier is offensive.
Yeah, honestly, like fighting game tournaments is just like is a study in like like non-language communication, like
yes.
Because you watch like these tournaments and if you watch a Third Strike tournament, as soon as Yun pops Ganajin and starts popping you, like juggling you, you'll hear the entire crowd, no matter who they are, just hey.
Okay, I have made my decision.
My decision.
So I'm going Point Tony the Tiger. I am now going to choose Snagglepuss, the Hanna-Barbera character. Because apparently he was a mascot for Cocoa Krispies at some point.
Oh my god.
Like, eh, looking into this,
not about to get into the Hanna-Barbera fighting game.
have we talked about it on the podcast before?
I don't believe so.
Because we have very strong beliefs about this.
We have had hours long conversations on our Discord with our friends about a Hanna-Barbera fighting game, and I believe at some point, hours into the conversation, the idea of Barbera cancels came up, and I just can't.
We can't go down that road again. He won't be Barbero. He won't be as he appears in our Barbero fighting game. It'll be different. He wears a hat, so
character.
he's different.
He's a guest character.
If you look up Cocoa Krispy's Snagglepuss, he's wearing a hat, so he's in a meta sense he is distinct. So what was it? Tony the Tiger, Snagglepuss, and then I think I would go for Sea Viper.
Nice. We got the one Capcom representative that we needed. Hell yes.
For a second I was going to choose Nova, but I was like, oh no, that's Marvel.
Yeah, oh no.
This has gone uncomfortably long past our intro.
Yeah, this has gone longer than the written rule of our 10-minute intro, but unfortunately, we are not a serial fighting game podcast. As much as I think we both now want to be, having heard that statement.
Depends, because allegedly, according to Amnesty International in 2016, Kellogg's palm oil provider used child labor.
Oh, okay. So maybe
that's how you know we're
to
not sponsored, baby.
Yeah, maybe we gotta go to General Mills or something. But we are Paramecia Fancast, a One Piece fancast, where we review the latest chapter of One Piece and give different One Piece related discussions every single week. My name is John.
My name is Franz. Did you know that Kellogg's also donates to notable groups opposing voter ID laws?
Yeah. See, when the whole, Kellogg's strike was going on, I was like, none of what Kellogg's is... The part that, none of what they did sounded good, right? And then...
Wait, no.
Out of nowhere,
I just
they
said
were
was a good thing.
Oh.
Because, voter ID laws are restrictive. That's something that's... If you don't,
Oh, I thought about it the wrong way.
I did too, just reading it. Now we're both here, and we have to both sit in this. I did this.
This is your domain expansion. My domain expansion is I trap you in a dimension where we both keep doing I'm gonna go this way. Oh, sorry, I'll go this way. I'll go this way.
We did that, but with politics. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
But yeah, no One Piece this week, which is why...
Yeah, One Piece is on break.
We've spent all this time talking about a fake Capcom game.
Yeah. Unless. See, and as of so this is going to be a very funny recording, right? Because by the time we're finished with this recording, or probably during this episode that you're listening to right now,
quite literally during,
the game will be revealed. So you will get a possible, not live reaction, but hey, oh god, they just announced this. And then you get to hear the disappointment that it's not a serial Kellogg's fighting game. Dude,
corporations will do so much to sanitize their image. When do you think it will take a, our childhood brand to just, launch a video game to sanitize their thing? To just, shut... you know how, when everything was going wrong at Blizzard, they were like, hey, Overwatch 2.
Yeah, that's their go-to.
What if cereal brands just started doing that?
Hey, Cornflakes 2. you, you can't just do that.
Isn't that the Cornflakes 2? I would consider being that adult cereal.
Oh, the Honey Bunches of Oats?
No, it's not Circle K. That's a gas station chain.
Oh, Special K?
Special K. That's Cornflakes 2.
Yeah, Special K is Cornflakes too.
We've solved it. Good job,
We
everyone.
solved it. Hell yeah. No, yeah, there's no One Piece this week, but there has been a whole bunch of stuff in Jump in general that has been good, and also like other manga stuff that's been good. So we're just gonna talk about that. Like,
Dude, and there's like a decent amount to talk about too. Like,
yeah,
I mean, this started a couple weeks ago with the Rakugo one,
yeah,
and then we got like a superhero one this week.
yeah. Earthchild is the newest one this week, and that the premise
oh my
is like
god, dude!
really, it's really cool.
Like, we'll get into it with that one. We're only on chapter 1. Like, if that was I don't know if this is a testament to whether it'll be good or not, but just the chapter on its own, like, it could have been a one shot, and I would have been satisfied right there. You know?
Yeah. Honestly, I felt the same way about the Rakugo one, the ending of the first chapter. Like, had that just been a standalone one shot, like, it would have been still amazing.
It's crazy, and like, that might be an evolution of like the way Jump and Shueisha are handling their properties now. Rest in peace, Phantom Seer. Rest in peace, Bone. Whatever, fucking
Bone Collector. Rest in peace. Shark and Dolphin.
Like, if you want your shit to be like open and shut, like if you don't know when your shit's gonna be tossed out, like it makes sense. It in some degree.
Yeah.
But like,
yeah, no, it's man,
for it to be good too, like, goddamn.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like the first two chapters for these two like new series. Like, I don't know, there is something different. It's like, not to say that other series have had like bad first chapters, but it just felt like. I mean, you put it back. It felt like really like one shot esque. Like, okay, like we gotta get like.
Everything
we gotta have
out.
a contained story in the first chapter, like,
Yeah, and like...
And it still leaves off at the end with, like, a really powerful, like, cliffhanger, like, oh, so that's what we're getting into. Like,
huge cliffhanger.
Yeah. It was... We were given proper prologues to the story, I think. That's what it was.
Like... But this thing is still framed as a romance, is it not? At least that's what I'd have to double check. But the little snippet that Viz gave, like when you click on it, it says an unlikely romance has planet-sized consequences. And well, I it's just the first chapter, but I still don't want to spoil it. But like is the thing at the end the consequence?
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. Like, it might be something that they change later on. No clue. But all in all, super super interesting. The art too. I love it. It's really expressive.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The way. Who is the artist on this Earthchild one? Hold on. Let me go all the way back. Oh, does it not even have it? Oh, it does. Hideo Shinkai? Has he maybe, hold on, let me search up, quick live search. Hideo Shinkai?
Soul Catcher, story and art. Lightwing, story and art.
Okay. Hideo Shinkai was one of Hirohiko Araki's assistants for about 5 years.
Yo!
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then he did Soul Catchers. Jeez, okay, so if he was Araki's assistant, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. And like Soul Catchers, Lightwing, these are what are listed on my anime list as his last thing. That was like 10 years ago. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. You know, I wonder if he was like an assistant before that, did these, and then like, but that wouldn't explain the 10-year gap unless Soul Catchers. No, it's 90 chapters. That's only 2.5 years of production.
Yeah, this is crazy. Now I'm just looking into what some of the other assistants for him have done.
Araki's assistants?
Yeah, because I think they were all Hideo Shinkai. It gives you a group of 3 of them. It says Hideo Shinkai was an assistant for about 5 years, along with Yasuki Tanaka and Hiroshi Shibashi. And on theirs, it says that they were all assistants for him during Steel Ball Run.
Oh, crazy.
Which, already, all right, you tell me, oh, these were his assistants during Steel Ball Run? I'm like,
that's my favorite right there.
I'll read whatever they write.
Huh. I'm seeing something called Time Shadows when I look up Yasuki Tanaka. And
Yasuki Tanaka.
The art seems pretty good.
Summertime rendering.
It's really funny. It's like a very similar style to this author for Earthchild. Very similar style.
Oh, there was an anime about this, but is that Yura or Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan? That was written by one of the other assistants for Araki, Hiroshi Shibashi.
Oh, I've seen this, yeah.
Yeah, the guy with like the white hair and like or black hair with like the white on top, and he fights like the yokai and stuff.
That's crazy. I thought this was like some old shit or something.
Yeah, that is insane. All this to say that look, the tenure that this guy has, you know, this is like one of his I mean, I don't know. For me, it's like, okay, you were an assistant for Araki. That itself holds a lot of like, you know, like.
Therefore, hopefully, it sticks around.
That's what I'm saying. I hope it sticks around. It looks good, and I love the art style is really good. It's a lot cleaner than like what we talked about, I think, last week with like Sakamoto Days and stuff. But I do love the way he draws the character's eyes, specifically the girl.
Yes.
When she's using her powers. In the colored pages, you can see it more, but it's just super cool when you notice like the name of the manga and then the color of her eyes, and you're like, oh,
dude, like I've felt that shit before. Just like
yeah,
looking at someone's eyes and being like, damn, it's the whole thing, and like you know. Talking about it as if it's a one shot, the romance in it was also like, I was like pretty invested, completely, and I still am. I'm just, I'm wondering what's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is super cool. I really like this one. They give a little bit of like lore too, like halfway through it, and
it's
like,
literally Fate lore.
Yep.
Like. If you know more about Fate than you would like to admit, like, the main character is basically like a counter force.
And he has one of the greatest proposals I've ever seen in anime.
Oh, dude.
Anime and manga.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is hypothetical.
He's just goofing. He's just new boot goofing. And then
nope. No goofs, no gaffs.
Oh, so good. But yeah, no, definitely give Earthchild a read. I felt like chapter 1 is really good. The Rakugo one, chapter 2 just came out, Akane Banashi.
Talk to me about that.
Oh, so chapter 1 ends with like the craziest cliffhanger. Like, chapter 1 was really good. So I kind of talked about it before. Chapter 1's out. slight spoilers for chapter 1 if you still haven't read it. But basically, I'll just tell the ending now, and then that's it. But basically, what happens at the end is this guy. The premise is like, oh, the girl's father is trying to be a Rakugo performer, and he's trying to rank up because you have to go through like different ranks or something, the way it works. And he's doing his like audition for the next rank up or whatever, and he's doing his performance, and he has this really fucking like beautiful moment of like stage fright and nervous, like, oh god, like all this work, but like the audience hates me or whatever. And then he like sees the eyes of his daughter, and he's like, oh, like in front of my own daughter, like I'm like a hero, like she loves watching me perform. And then it like flashes back to the mother, like, yo, like you can you could do whatever, like I'll be all like the wife is like, I'll support you like at any wherever you go. She's like, but like your daughter looks up to you, so like if you're gonna make any decision, make sure it's one that your daughter would be proud of or something. And he just starts acting, and the way they draw the acting is like he's just acting out of his mind. The Rakugo performance is like crazy, and his teacher and everyone's like, oh my god, like he's going ham.
Hell yeah.
And then like the thing ends where this big shot guy, like master, he's some Rakugo master, he like comes up to the stage, and the chapter 1 ends with him like, oh, is this thing on? Like, I'd like to apologize for everybody who came here. Everybody is expelled from the school. Goodbye. Like that wasn't Rakugo or something like that. And everyone's like, what? And then the chapter ends with all of them outside, and they're like, this is a joke, right? And it just says, on that day, the Rakugoka,
Yeah.
Shinta Arakawa died. But the story doesn't end there. The day was only the beginning of my story. And it shows the daughter, and it's like, oh fuck, like at the end of the first chapter, it made me believe that the dad like killed himself, and I was like, yo,
right,
what the fuck? And then chapter 2 like starts, like it's so good. Chapter 2 starts like a time skip, and the girl is like chasing after this guy, like this Rakugo master, and she's like, teach me, like I want you to be my teacher. And she's like, or he's like, oh, like why do you want to, like what the hell, like why do you want me to be your pupil or something like that, or why do you want to be my pupil? And then she's like, oh, like dad joined a company that sells concrete. And I'm like, oh, that's what the first chapter meant. Like the Rakugoka, like the performer, yes. What's his name, died that day because he didn't ever pursue the art form ever again. And she's just telling it like, oh, like we're all happy, and he makes more money, and he's able to support us, and we're able to eat out more. But he loved like that, like the Rakugo was the only thing that like he loved doing. And she's like, and I want to prove to the world that like what he was doing wasn't, some like regret or something. And I'm like, damn, all right, hold on. And then they also introduce some way more characters, and they introduce like a hook in the second chapter. It's like, all right, this is what like the first arc is gonna be about. And it's like, oh, okay. So really good. I do suggest reading the first chapter at least, because just like Earthchild, like the first chapter is a very self-contained story that you can just read through, and it acts as a prologue to like the actual story proper, and it's really cool.
I'm pretty happy to see something like that. Like when it comes to Shonen Jump, a lot of these things like it. A lot of the themes of the literature in Shonen Jump often becomes like, oh, like if you don't follow your dreams, you're a sad sack piece of shit or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, this guy, the father, he didn't necessarily follow his dreams, but like he's still a father figure. He still supports. He's still, like, and it still inspired the daughter to follow her dreams. Like, I'm kind of sick and tired of, like, I guess it's just, like, an issue with, like, manga in general, but, like, this weird idyllic thing of, like, oh, just keep trying, like, never give up. And, like, kids reading that, like, they know shit's not like that. Kids
Yeah,
are
yeah.
smart. Like, I'm not saying this as an adult. I'm saying this as someone who, like, understands to a certain degree children's sensibilities. And they're, like, much smarter than this. So, like, I love seeing something that is willing to just, have its cake and eat it. It can be both ways.
Yeah.
Like,
No, for sure.
maybe you didn't get to follow your dreams, but, maybe there's other dreams you did follow, like having a daughter, and supporting her is also a dream. And, like,
Yeah.
it's not just black and white. And I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, yeah. It's super sick. I'm digging a lot of the new Jump stuff. Everything's fucking good. I know Black Clover, if you guys are fans of Black Clover, that one's popping off. That Black Clover, My Hero, and Dr. Stone are like seemingly at the end, like they're at
Without
their
a
like
doubt.
final. Dr. Stone, yes. My Hero, yes.
Yeah,
And then
Horikoshi's confirmed.
Yeah, Black Clover, it really does, like, it seems like this is going to be, like, the final, like, arc. And at least for Black Clover, all I'll say if I need to convince anybody to get it, like, to read Black Clover is if you liked the moments in Bleach where all of the captains, like, came together to, like, fight and they were just doing cool stuff, man, Black Clover is going all out with that right now. Like, oh, it's so good.
I respect it. It's not something that I enjoy so much anymore, but I respect the craft. I will.
Yeah. I recommend Black Clover to like this to anybody that asks. I'm like, look, Black Clover, it doesn't do anything out of the ordinary. Like, it doesn't do anything like, it's not telling a story with the intent to like, oh, here's these twists and turns and you're gonna be like, oh, well, like, it tells a very Shonen Jump story, but it does so freaking well. Like, the characters, none of the characters feel like, especially the main group, like the Black Bulls, they're all like underdog characters, and they're written in such a fantastic way, and I'm just like, dude, yes, I root for all of them.
Does Black Clover feel like a greatest hits of just shonen?
Yeah, honestly, kind of. Yeah. That's probably how I would put it if I'm like recommending it to somebody. It's just shonen greatest hits. It hits the marks it needs to, and it does so well, I feel.
All right.
And it's like, like because I feel like a big minus, a big old L in like a lot of the manga and anime like community talk, in giant air quotes, like the Twitter discussions that happen. Yeah, the discourse. It's always like, I don't know. I notice a trend of always like, oh, does this, like, a lot of comparing every series to every other series, and like if one series doesn't do something cool or cool or new constantly, then it's like, oh, this series is garbage. And I'm like, no, it can just be good. It could just do like, it can just have tropes that have been done before and do them exceptionally well. Like, it doesn't have to like expand on anything new. Like,
it reminds me like kind of similar to the greatest hits thing. Like, a lot of people our age or so are like kind of like willing to concede the fact that dad rock is not so bad sometimes. Like, a lot of people discussing this still call it butt rock, but like, Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas is pretty fucking good if you like that kind of stuff. Is a
fucking banger.
And like,
a lot of songs by Journey, banger.
Right. And like in some ways they're cringe because of like their popularity. Your uncle loves them. Like that's just inherently cringe in its own way. But like just cuz it's cringe doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah. It can be cringe but also based. The duality. The duality of man.
Like the epitome of ACAB, kill the cop in your head. Kill the cringe cop in your head.
Kill the cringe. Oh my god. That just reminded me of like, this is a tangent that is way not connected to anime and manga, but Grasshopper Studios, Suda51's company.
Yes.
They, like, all of Suda51's games have this overarching storyline.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's called Kill the Past. And it's, all of the games are, like, not all of them. I don't think they're all in the same universe, but what it is that, like, they have similar themes and they have, like, recurring motifs that happen in each game, but they're, like, standalone stories. But if you experience them in the order of, like, if you experience them in the order, it's like, oh man, like, each game in the order that you're supposed to play them, like, leads into the next game of a different story, and it's like, dude, what the fuck?
That feel like...
It's super sick, but it just, Kill the Cringe reminded me of Kill the Past.
Oh man, I really wish the Suda51 games were like more accessible.
Yeah, I know a lot of them recently have been coming onto Steam.
No way.
Specifically the older ones. The Silver Case got a remake on PS4 and Steam.
Damn.
And then I believe Killer 7 is available on Steam? ? And then No More Heroes is on the Switch. But a lot of the older games, like the Silver Case and one of the other, I think the sequel to Silver Case or something like that, is on Steam. Like they did an anniversary like remaster of it.
That's crazy. Yeah, Killer 7 is definitely on here.
Yeah, it's super.
So
cool.
Is No More Heroes. Wait, is Travis Strikes Again the second one? No, the second one is here though. Hold on.
It's No More Heroes, No More Heroes 2 Desperate Struggle, and then Travis Strikes Again is 2.5, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, Travis Strikes Again is the game that was supposed to be the way it was marketed when it was first announced. It's like, oh, it's just gonna be like a little collection of like mini games and
right.
It's gonna be cool. It is the most lore intensive No More Heroes game that like you need to play if you're going into No More Heroes 3.
Shut the fuck up. I hate this.
Yeah.
Actually, never mind. I'm never doing this, actually.
Oh, it's so crazy. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It just reminds me that like this whole Let It Die thing, I remember getting a little hype about it and never hearing about it ever again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn. Okay, back to manga. I have started reading Dan to Dan.
Ooh, tell me how you're digging it so far, or if you hate it so far.
I just realized it was the weirdest way to possibly say that. Dan to Dan.
Yeah. Dan to Dan.
But I'm really liking it. I'm a bit of a prude, I'll admit, like when it comes to like media that I consume. Like the first chapter, I'm only on the second chapter.
Okay.
The first chapter having the like spirit just being like, I'll let you suckle my teats if you give me your schlong. That's what it was verbatim.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah, I thought that when I was reading it, I was like, am I reading like a mistranslation? And nope, I was not.
Immediately I was like, if this is really how this is gonna be. And then, like, the whole, like, alien abduction, like, oh, she's gonna get raped thing. Like, I was like, whoa, I don't want to see this. But when he saves her and whatever, like, I don't mind things touching those topics, like, tangentially.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't like to gratuitously witness a lot of gore or something.
Yeah.
Like,
It was for me, that first chapter was a very like, oh, because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh god, they're gonna get weirdly like sexual to aliens, and they're gonna like, it's gonna be freaking cringe. I don't like this. And then they were like, we require your banana, and then they start like trying to like cut the girl into pieces because they wanted the organs or something. I was like, what? Wait.
It's so crazy. Like, I really do like how bombastic it is. I do like the main characters quite a bit. They're dynamic. Like, it's not something new, but it feels well done. And it being so well done, it's like fresh.
Yeah. The artwork, the art style is so good. The way the artist draws like the action shots, like some of the action shots are amazingly well done.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I'm reading it as I'm recording right now. I'm taking my sweet little time reading it, and I'm really, really loving I'm really bad, honestly speaking, about like keeping track of like action sequences and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like the last couple of chapters of One Piece are a testament to like how hard it can be to follow some more complicated action scenes. But I've had like no trouble understanding like one thing from to the next when it comes to Dan Da Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's such a good series. I'm loving it. I love the character designs are really well done. I love the main character Momo, and then the other kid Ken he's in the most recent chapter. He has a moment that's like he has a moment in the fight with this other character, and the move he uses is like amazing.
I'm hype. I'm hyped for this. Like, I really want to like keep up.
Yeah, it's really good. So I'm digging it. And if I don't know if it's probably still on there. So if you guys have Manga Plus, which is the Shueisha like manga app, because you can read on the Shonen Jump app all the Shonen Jump ones, and then Manga Plus has. Or the Shonen Jump, it's really weird the way they do it. So Shonen Jump has those, and then they also have some of the Jump Plus titles. Like the Shonen Jump app will post Kaiju number 8 and like Spy X Family and Dan Da Dan. Like it'll post those ones, but the Manga Plus app has all of the like digital only Jump Plus ones. And it also, you can read the Shonen Jump ones as well. But on the app, they also have, like, in the banner space where the ads usually are, they have articles that they'll print about, like, just random, like, stuff. And, like, like, here's, like, an interview with so-and-so about, like, One Piece. And they'll just do stuff. And there was one that they had, and the picture was Dan Da Dan and Chainsaw Man. And I was like, what the hell did these two have to do with each other? The author of Dan Da Dan was a former assistant of Fujimoto or whatever, the guy that did Chainsaw Man.
That makes a lot of sense.
And they
also
did
the horniness too.
Yeah, they did a double interview where like the author of Dan Da Dan is talking about like what he likes about like Fujimoto's art style. He's like, oh, like his art style's like amazing. And then like it was Fujimoto like, oh yeah, like his new manga, like Dan Da Dan, like there's some really cool shots. Like I'm a big fan already. It's like it was super cool.
That's really cool. That's what I love to see. Like, you know, the industry makes it hard for them to socialize whatever. But like,
yeah.
I'm really I'm really excited to always see stuff like that, especially when it comes to like Oda and Horikoshi. It's really small, but I'd love knowing that they go out and like play Pokemon Go together still.
Yeah. Or like, what was it? There was one of the interviews with Oda recently where like the kids on Oda's daughter was going to school, and I guess the kids on her bus or on the train or something were singing the My Hero opening, the new one. And then Oda's daughter came home and asked him, like, Dad, like, is your manga okay? Like, are you sure everything's okay?
Dude, like, I fucking
like,
love
dude,
it.
That's a W if I've ever heard one. Like,
like, I would. Could you imagine, like,
the best-selling author of the best-selling manga in the world getting fucking steamrolled by his own daughter,
and then having to like see his coworker, whom his daughter holds professionally in higher esteem,
yeah,
is so fucking funny. Like, could you imagine, George racist Martin? I don't know if he's actually racist. I just have a habit of calling him that.
No, I don't think so. But the RR is such a strange, like,
he's just like
George Ronald Reagan.
That's funnier. I'm taking that. Actually,
that's the only R alliteration that I can think of.
George Ronald Reagan Martin. Imagine that man, like his child, just being like, I don't even know. Like, this is like a real deep cut.
His child reading like the Wheel of Time series and be like, "Are you okay, Dad? Like, is your series doing good?" Yeah.
No, Wheel of Time is much older, I think.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
Reading something like contemporary, like John Green, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Being like, "Hey, man, looking for Alaska? That pops off. Dad, are you doing good? You should write something like this."
Yeah, Dad, you should write something like this, turtles all the way down. George R. Martin literally like tying a noose.
Oh my god.
George R. Martin will never compete with the Nerd Brothers. John or Spank Green.
Spank Green. Did you know that he's also writing now?
Is he?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty high.
He put out some fiction book. Not like sci-fi, just like, you know, normal fiction? Question mark?
Normal fiction? Not sci-fi? Oh, so he just hates science now? I see how it is.
I do not believe Hank Green hates science.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not me starting beef with Hank Green.
This
is the part of my Hank Green beef arc.
Dude, that's how you know we would have made it. Like 4 years ago, oh no, it is a science fiction novel. Apparently,
oh thank God.
The only thing I know is that like he's having like a bit of a not a Horikoshi, Araki issue, that like he's including like way too many details from like rock songs, and it's like becoming like a copyright issue.
Yes, I cannot wait for the next villain in the Hank Green novel to have the power Dirty Deeds done to achieve.
Oh man, fucking sweet dreams are made of this.
Or what was the localization? It was filthy acts at a reasonable price.
I'll never forget about that. And the fact that like there's so many people, like people who are not OGs in JoJo's, like there's a cultural divide, and that's insane to me. Especially like, you know, there's nothing there. It's ridiculous to gatekeep shit, but when it comes to like the official translations of JoJo's, there's no way they can have half the shit they have in it. So
yeah,
I really do think that it's a missed experience, especially if you do like rock as a genre.
Yeah, JoJo is like, if it, again, tying it back to the dad rock, like if you love like rock and roll music, like you actually kind of are just doing yourself a disservice by not reading JoJo's, just because, I don't know, it's so cool to like, I don't know, there is, to me, I can't think of any other like feeling than reading a JoJo chapter and getting like this hype like stand power, and you're like, oh my god, like this is so intricate, like what is it? And then you get the reveal of the name, and it's like freaking like, you know, like it's like Carry On My Wayward Son, and it's like, oh.
Okay, I did not respectfully, Johnny boy, I did not hear anything you said, because the moment we got on this tangent, I was like, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This sounds like a good JoJo stan name. So I look it up, and like I click on the first link, not reading it, I just see that it's fandom.com, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a wiki. And I see that, and then it's like, Sweet Dreams, stand of an unnamed character seen in early drafts of Part 5, removed in the release. Sweet Dream is used by someone's name, I'm not gonna, in Part 10 of JoJo. And I was like, oh, okay, what does it do? And I start scrolling down, and then I scroll back up, and I'm like,
wait a minute.
Part 10 of JoJo? Part 10?
We barely even have a tentative title of Part 9. Like, we don't even have the actual fucking...
And then I look closely at the hyperlink, and it is JoJoFandom.fandom.com.
Oh god.
So
you live on air, you have been attacked by an enemy stand user.
I literally have been. And like this is like the way I'm experiencing it right now, and the way I feel right now is like, this is insane. This is crazy. The things that I'm going through is crazy. Gut reaction is like, who put Hank Hill? Hank Hill is here.
Hank Hill.
Jotaro Kujo, super rare. Oh wait, no, that's not what that stands for. I'm not gonna get into what it stands for.
Wait, Jotaro Kujo Senior?
No, it's not senior. It's like some fake part.
Oh god.
This is so funny to me, but at the same time, like, this is kind of sick. Like,
yeah,
if a community, like, you know, put this together, I'm
good. Hell yeah.
Like, good for them. Genuinely good for them. I wish this had not come up when I was Google searching.
Oh my god. Hell yes.
Are we done now?
Yeah, I guess we're done. There is a couple quick things I just wanted to touch on.
Let's touch on them.
In terms of Shonen Jump. They've been releasing on Shonen Jump like a Demon Slayer spin-off series.
Oh yeah.
It's Kimetsu no Yaiba Stories of Water and Flame. And I think it's just one volume. But they have the it's stories of, I forget the water guy's name. I forget all of their names, honestly. Tomioka. Giyu Tomioka, the water guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rengoku, the fire one. The pillars. It's like two side stories of like them. And it's just super... I thought it was pretty good. You could read chapter 1 on the Viz app. And then if you want to read more of it, like, you can obviously, I think there's options. You can buy the volume, or if you have a Viz membership, I think you can, even if you have the free one, I think you can read the...
Oh, really?
The other, I think so. I think you can read the other 3 ones. But that was pretty good. We talked about Don to Don. Kaiju number 8 is just finished like a pretty major story arc, and it's like,
oh yeah,
they're getting into like, the next big part, and it seems the lead up to it is pretty cool for like all the characters involved. It's super sick. That thing's still going absolute ham.
dude.
And
yeah.
apparently, so at some point, dear readers, I'm gonna have to read Undead Unluck, because I gave up on it first chapter because I was like, I'm not really, little too etchy for me.
It was a break week like 2 years back, I think, where we talked very negatively about the first chapter.
The first chapter, the entire like premise of the first chapter might have just been like, haha, I groped boobs.
Right.
And it's like, I don't want that. But like every other week on Twitter, I'm seeing people popping off about how hype this series is and all these theories of what's going on, and like, look, I'm gonna have to give it a shot. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna have to. I'll report back. I'll go into the depths and I'll read it, and I'll report back with all my findings. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was Fire Force is complete. Fire Force is the series that the Soul Eater mangaka created after Soul Eater. And it's at the end now. Like, I think it's like one more chapter or two more chapters. Like, the last chapter is like coming soon as of the recording and release of this episode. But apparently the series has a lot more ties to Soul Eater than I thought possible at first. And I won't spoil anything, but just if you're a fan of Soul Eater, I think you should read, like I am, Fire Force, because some of the stuff they do at the end, I'm like, oh, okay, hold on now.
That's really exciting. I'll need to find a way to get into that. I also, now it's my turn for the small things. First, John, why didn't you tell me the grandma was a gilf in Don Da Don?
Oh, the grandma is like the best. I love the grandma.
I would have read this immediately.
Yeah. The grandma is so good with the baseball bat.
You've done me a disservice.
I've done you a disservice.
Another thing that I want to get into is Osama ranking. I forget the English name.
Yeah.
It's the one with the little boy.
Like Lil Boji.
Yeah, that one.
The anime is popping off, and I've heard the manga is amazing.
I've heard too, but then I just recently came across someone saying hey, if you know, there's some anti-Korean dog whistles in this. It's not impossible to read. It's not Attack on Titan, but it's it's unfortunate, but I'll still give it a shot. It's just one thing I saw about it. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, but I also do not doubt that, unfortunately, a Japanese mangaka has put some reactionary shit onto paper.
Yeah. It's yeah. That's all you could say. Yeah.
It's definitely
no, I've heard the anime is amazingly well done, and it looks
good. Yeah,
I haven't caught up to it, but I've seen the first 2 episodes, and the art style and everything is amazing. So I'm loving it.
Who's the studio for them?
I haven't. I don't know who the studio is. Studio P? Wit Studio.
Who?
Wit Studio. They did.
Oh, they're new.
I think they were the original ones that did Attack on Titan.
Oh, maybe?
Yeah, they did the original Attack on Titan before it switched over to the new studio that they're to Mappa.
Oh.
But they did Attack on Titan. They did Kabanari and the Iron Fortress, the one where the really muscular girl is
I
powering
remember
the steam
that.
engine train.
I still need to watch that.
Yeah, that one is pretty cool. They're doing Ranking of Kings, Osama ranking.
Oh, they did Vinland Saga. Interesting.
Yeah. They also did I forget what it's called on Netflix, but it's like a heist. The Great Pretender. They did that one, and the art style in that one is like really good.
Interesting. I pinned that on another studio. I don't remember which, but like immediately I was like, "Oh no, that's someone else. That's someone else."
Yeah.
Huh.
And I think they're also doing, I believe that Wit Studio is doing the Spy X Family anime.
They are, yes.
Yeah.
Huh.
And yes, I am saying Spy X Family because I will never not pronounce it Hunter x Hunter. I will always, for the meme, pronounce it Hunter x Hunter. So,
I mean, it makes sense to
for the culture.
Yeah, exactly. It's the culture. Arguably, it's the culture to not pronounce it, but you don't have a podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, who has the power here? No.
Hey, shout out to any of the 80,000 people from the past 3 weeks who there has to be at least one person here listening to this episode of the podcast because they saw some shit post John made in about an hour. How long ago?
Yup. I made a shit post in 2019 and the video somehow got picked up by the algorithm 3 weeks ago and it's at 80,000 views and we doubled in our subscriber count on YouTube. So, yeah. If any of you guys are here, this is a perfect way to segue into the ending. Follow us on Twitter and join our Discord. We're at Paramecia Cast on Twitter and Paramecia Flower Capital on Discord. The permanent invite link is on all of our social media. We're Paramecia Fancast everywhere else. Every single week, the new episodes will go up on Monday following the official Sunday release. Sometimes they go up a little earlier. And as soon as they're uploaded to the hosting site, parameciafancast.libsyn.com, where you can direct download if you like. As soon as it's uploaded there, it's sent to every podcatcher in existence. You know, the main ones, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all
Google Podcasts.
Google Podcasts. Let's do it. No. But yeah, it's everywhere there. If you like the show, showing your support, feeding the algorithm. Don't forget, give us a comment or a rating on Spotify or iTunes, wherever you're listening to us to, because it greatly helps. I did a little bit of not ego searching, but I searched up One Piece podcasts on Google, and I mean, you know, dominating the SEO is the One Piece podcast. you know,
can't
obviously.
escape that. That's literally like. The Google search gives you that.
Yeah, but Player.fm released their if you search up podcasts, if you search up One Piece on their podcasts, we are I don't even think they're in I don't think they're in any sort of order, but we're number 4 on the list.
Okay.
And it shows all of the One Piece related ones. And so I'm like, okay. So so help us pop off, you know?
We have stiff competition,
there hasn't been an upload on YouTube since the new year. And honestly, look, it's just like we're trying to figure out with the TikTok thing, like how we're going to roll out content on YouTube and TikTok and stuff, and whether short form is the answer or not. But, this episode will be on YouTube, so while we're figuring that out, we'll just keep posting them.
Exactly, yeah. There's no harm in continuing what we've been doing while also figuring out our next step.
Yeah. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for us this week. New chapter next week. We're not on break next week, so hopefully 1041 will be sick as hell. And I can't wait for JoJo's Part 20.
Huh. Could you imagine JoJo's Part 20? We get like fucking hyperpop artists as like the stand names. This is like my stand 100 Gex. My stand Sophie.
Gex. I'm just like if you think about it, the JoJo verse, like as soon as Araki starts listening to other genres, we're fucked.
Well,
because
the genres also go up in like relative to in the last couple of parts, relative to like the era that they're in.
Yeah.
So like if this man turns around and does like a 2021, he'll be out here like, man,
Macross 98-99.
dude, that would be so fucking funny. Like, just in a stand, instead of called BTS, just called Behind the Scenes or something.
Behind the BTS, the stand is every member of BTS.
Just all of them were there. John Cook beating the shit out of you.
Oh god, yes. Araki, there's still time before part 9. You can pivot.